E letter words. E. E. This is E. This is E. 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 This is E. This is E. E is for elephant.
E is for elephant.
E is for ear.
E is for ear.
E is for eye.
E is for eye.
E is for egg.
E is for egg.
E is for earth.
E is for earth.
E is for eyebrow.
E is for eyebrow.
E is for engine.
E is for engine.
E is for elbow.
E is for elbow.
E is for eyelet.
E is for eyelet.
E is for equal.
E is for equal.
E is for exam.
E is for exam.
E is for envelope.
E is for envelope.
E is for eggplant.
E is for eggplant.
E is for exercise.
E is for exercise.
E is for Eskimo.
E is for Eskimo.
E is for equator.
E is for equator.
E is for essay.
E is for essay.
E is for enjoy.
E is for enjoy.
E is for evening.
E is for evening.
E is for event.
E is for event.
E is for English.
E is for English.
E is for explore.
E is for explore.
E is for earphone.
E is for earphone.
E is for example.
E is for example.
E is for equity.
E is for equity.
E is for England.
E is for England.
E is for erosion.
E is for erosion.
E is for early.
E is for early.
E is for engineer.
E is for engineer.
E is for emo.
E is for emo.
E is for erase.
E is for erase.
E is for expect.
E is for expect.
E is for excitement.
E is for excitement.
E is for embryo.
E is for embryo.
E is for effective.
E is for effective.
E is for ego.
E is for ego.
E is for euro.
E is for euro.
E is for eight.
E is for eight.
E is for eel.
E is for eel.
E is for excavator.
E is for excavator.
E is for eucalyptus.
E is for eucalyptus.
E is for even.
E is for even.
E is for exist.
E is for exist.
E is for enemy.
E is for enemy.
E is for 11.
E is for 11.
E is for enroll.
E is for enroll.
E is for exit.
E is for exit.
E is for eyelid.
E is for eyelid.
E is for enough.
E is for enough.
E is for excuse.
E is for excuse.
E is for empty.
E is for empty.
E is for eclipse.
E is for eclipse.
E is for enter.
E is for enter.
E is for elk.
E is for egg.
E is for east.
E is for east.
E is for each.
E is for each.
E is for Europe.
E is for Europe.
E is for everyday.
E is for everyday.
E is for effort.
E is for effort.
E is for email.
E is for email.
E is for evader.
E is for evader.
E is for elevator.
E is for elevator.
E is for echo.
E is for echo.
E is for expose.
E is for expose.
E is for end.
E is for end.
E is for eraser.
E is for eraser.
E is for energy.
E is for energy.
E is for electrical.
E is for electrical.
E is for examine.
E is for examine.
E is for expand.
E is for expand.
E is for extend.
E is for extend.
E is for exhale.
E is for exhale.
E is for error.
E is for error.
E is for educate.
E is for educate.
E is for ecology.
E is for ecology.
E is for effect.
E is for effect.
E is for eagle.
E is for eagle.
E is for 18.
E is for 18.
E is for elect.
E is for elect.
E is for elastic.
E is for elastic.
E is for ebook.
E is for ebook.
E is for expel.
E is for expel.
E is for etching.
E is for etching.
E is for editor.
E is for editor.
E is for eat.
E is for eat.
E is for easy.
E is for easy.
E is for 80.
E is for 80.
E is for eager.
E is for eager.
E is for earn.
E is for earn.
E is for earring.
E is for earring.
E is for eject.
E is for jet.
E is for eclair.
E is for eclair.
E is for edge.
E is for edge.
E is for elders.
E is for elders.
E is for either.
E is for either.
E is for economy.
E is for economy.
E is for era.
E is for era.